Hey guys, welcome back for another video. It's me, Wood. Today we are starting on chapter 3 and 4 of case 4, Dead Girl Rolling. So, yeah guys, let's get into it. I'm telling you this, Detective Will, it was all a lie. I wasted days following Susie around, and all for nothing. Well, maybe you shouldn't have done that. Wait, Becky, calm down, please. What lie? What happened to you? Stalker award? It doesn't exist. Someone lied to me. I'll never become famous. I'll be right back. I need to go rant on my FriendNet account. Ah, typical Twitter user. Detective Will, I agree. We should have a chat with Becky when she's calmed down a little. This whole thing sounds very suspicious, and so does Becky. Is there anything else we could do in the meantime to find new leads on Susie's murder? Good idea. We know that Susie often trained at the plaza. Let's go and have another look there, Detective Will. Look at this box you found, Will. Instruments, juggling balls. Do you think they belong to Lenny? Alright, let's have a look through this box. Alright, Becky, how are you feeling calmer now? Can you explain to Detective Will exactly what happened to your website? Well, you know I've been following Susie around for days, working on my entry for the Stalker Award, but when I tried to submit the final version of my work, I couldn't. The organization's website went offline, like it never existed. I tried to track down the other contestants to see if they knew anything, but there weren't any. Becky, how did you first hear about this organization? They contacted me on FriendNet. They promised me an international audience if I wrote about Susie, and now they disappeared. Becky, Detective Will is right. Now that the website has disappeared, how do we know you're telling the truth? Do you have any proof to back this up? I saved all the info I have about the award on this USB key. It's just a big mess of data I gathered in the Rush Lab, but it's real, I swear. Well, do you think we can trust Becky? She was so eager for her blog to be a hit. Could she have killed Susie just to have a more thrilling story to write? Miranda, on the other hand, if she's being honest, then it means someone used to spy on her victim. Let's give this USB to Hannah and see if she sheds some light on Becky's intentions in this mysterious organization. Better hope that's not some malware. Rather being dead than... Okay, something like that. I wonder what this torn paper is doing among these performing props, but I'm sure you'll piece it back together in no time, Detective Will. I hate you. I hate you. I hate this paper. Oh dear, this torn letter you found in our prop box was from Lenny to Susie, and it says rather death than being apart? I thought Lenny was just a little wacky, but now I'm worried he's insane, Detective Will. He said he never really talked to Susie, yet he was clearly madly in love with her. Do we really need to talk to him again? I'm sorry, of course we must, but I hope he doesn't spit fire at us. Susie was the love of my life, so what if I only talk to her once? True passion doesn't need words. True passion is a fire that burns. But did Susie know about your strong feelings for her? No, I was happy to write letters to her which I never sent. My therapist says it's okay to do that, better than following people around. Maybe you would benefit from some time off work, Lenny. Performance art seems to be a stressful occupation. Oh, I'm fine, really. I just do a bit of yoga when I'm losing it, which is nearly every day, so I'm in great shape. Haha. I often see that other derby girl doing yoga too, the small, angry one with that white hair. I can hear her grit her teeth from across the plaza. Well, I have good news about Becky's USB key. I've identified a person who contacted her on FriendNet. Oh, so Becky didn't make everything up after all. Someone really did use her to spy on Susie. Who is it, Hannah? Our woman warrior, Mrs. Pigley. Whatever she was up to, I can't help admiring her for making a fool of that Becky Walden. That was brilliant. Mrs. Pigley, but why would she have her own daughter-in-law followed?
Detective Will, you're right. She has some explaining to do. Mrs. Pickle, you said you were very close to your daughter-in-law, but we discovered you hired a social blogger, Becky Walden, to spy on her. Why did you do that? Because Susie wouldn't drop that shameful roller derby thing. It was my fault. I encouraged her to take up sports book character. I do my yoga exercises several times a week. But I don't approve of scantily dressed women beating up each other in front of drooling men. That's not girl power, that's disgusting. I didn't want Susie to turn into a flapper. Oh, I should have just taught her how to play the guitar instead. I taught classical guitar before I retired. We could have played some lovely tunes together. But Mrs. Pickley, what exactly did you think you find out about Susie by having her followed? Since you insist, I was afraid she was cheating on my Howard. I mean, have you looked at him? He's a lump. And Susie was blossoming into such a fine woman. But lump or not, he's my son, and she was his wife. I just wanted to make sure she wouldn't do anything she'd regret. Detective, I feel like this investigation is a tangle of lies and odd behavior, but how do we untangle the threads to go back to the murder scene? Funny you should say that. I bumped into Russell and he said that murderers often return to the scene of their crime. If we're lucky, Susie's killer did the same thing. Let's go back to the skating rink. I'm right behind you. I wonder why someone flattened this ball you found in the shells. To hide better, perhaps? There's some faded text on the surface. Can you reconstruct what it says? Is this a guitar pick? Hey, we already know the killer plays a guitar. This must belong to them. And what's this dark stain in the middle? We must collect the sample. It's a fresh lead to our killer. I knew that ball you found hidden in the skating rink was a red-hot clue. Detective Will, it belonged to Susie. This must be the ball she drank from before the match. The bottle that contained the poisonous energy drink. I'm sorry, Detective Will, I'll stop Yon now. I'm just excited because we're so close, but let's send this ball to Yon at once and see what else he can tell us about it. Good job, Detective Will. You collected a tiny drop of dark substance from the guitar pick you found near the murder scene. Oh, I feel like everything is falling into place, don't you? I hope Yon can tell us what exactly the substance is. Well, as you expected, I found traces of rocket count in Susie's bottle. Exactly as Roxy said after the autopsy. What about the damage on the bottle itself? Detective Will says time is of the essence now, so every little bit of info makes a difference. Well, I have good news. From the way the bottle is dented, I was able to knock up a model to reconstruct the angle and force used to find the bottle. From that day, it was only a simple mathematical regression to deduce the weight of the killer. You're looking for a person who weighs 132 pounds, Detective Will. It's not me then. I got good news, Will. I've identified the substance you found in the killer's guitar pick. What is it? What is it? It's a mixture of secondary amines and some pigment. In layman's terms, brown hair dye. So Susie's killer has brown hair. Great, I'll write it down for you, Detective Will. We'll get our killer any minute now. I can feel it. Well, I think we now have enough evidence to arrest Susie's killer. Let's go bust her chops, as Frank would say. Barbara Pickley, Detective Will is arresting you for the murder of your daughter-in-law, Susie. I'm a bit confused. You seem so upright. It was a very hard decision to kill Susie. I wish it hadn't come to that, but I had no choice. A woman sometimes has to make difficult decisions in life. Difficult decisions? You said you saw yourself in Susie. You were her friend, her confidant, whatever, and her mentor. Exactly, I was, until roller derby changed her. Suddenly she had no use for my advice. She made new friends, she kept new company. When I found out from Becky Walden that Susie was flirting with that freak, I knew she'd gone too far. I had to act fast. So you poisoned her? You even wrote a little note tricking her into drinking that awful energy drink? Mrs. Pickly, Susie trusted you. And she betrayed my trust. She was going to leave her husband, I'm sure of it. This is how she repays me for welcoming her as a daughter by cheating on my son? Not only that, but Howard was also changing, getting unnaturally interested in those other derby girls, drooling over them. I raised him better than that. This was all because of Susie. I knew what I had to do then, and I thought dying during a derby match would be a fitting end for Susie, and a warning for Howie. A warning for Howie to stay away from those derby girls. Detective Will, I know you understand how hard it is to be a mentor to a young woman. Let us hope you will succeed with Miss Young, where I failed with Susie. In the meantime, Mrs. Pickle, you're under arrest. Thanks to Detective Will, off to custody with you. Wait, I'm a mentor? Oh. Killing of your wealthy uncle for the inheritance is one thing, but murdering your daughter-in-law because she took up a roller derby? What was all that about, Mrs. Pickle? I feared she was going to leave Howie, and a mother's first duty to her child. Having raised a mama's boy is not midgeting circumstance, Mrs. Pickly. Furthermore, the prosecution says that you did a very sloppy job covering your traces. You lost personal effects all over the crime scene. A charm, a guitar pick, and your research notes on the energy drink. What a mess, Mrs. Pickly. Well, tidying up is not my strong suit, Your Honor. That's not a midgeting circumstance either. You're sentenced to 25 years in jail. Maybe you could use the time to write the sequel to The Woman Warrior, All Rise. Detective Will, you saw this case brilliantly. I'm learning so much from you. A good mentor really is invaluable. Provided they don't kill you once you gain some confidence. Apparently, that's a risk factor in any training situation. But I wouldn't worry about that, Amy. I'm sure Will is only a danger to criminals, but harmless to colleagues. Now, how about a nice cup of tea? You did a wonderful job again, Detective Will. I hope I'll be able to deal with those gruesome murderers as well as you soon. But I can't help worrying about Howard Pickly, now that he's alone. Without his mother and his wife, he could do something stupid. And that's a very valid concern. A man who spent his life smothered could create quite a mess once left on his own. I'd be delighted to assert his mindset with you, but we need to find an incentive to force him to actually talk to you, Will. Well, maybe we could go back to the garden and take a look at things there. I really hope he stopped harassing the roller derby girls. The roller derby girls, yes, they're fascinating. How about you help me gather more information about them, Will? I heard you're really good. I'd like to see it myself. Well, then maybe Mona would agree to chat with you. She's a skater and she has a very strong character. It would be fun to have you come with us, bro. So should we start by going to the garden to talk to Mona, Detective Will? Hey, Detective Will, so you brought a colleague. If you want to know more about roller derby, I'm your girl. No one could teach you better than Pacific Pixie. Thanks, Mrs. Middlefinger. It's a fascinating environment. You seem quite intent. You really into winning your games, right? Call me Mona, and you're dang right. The Pacific Pixies are winners, and I'm the best. I wear rink rash like jewelry. I've been living on those wheels forever. That's why the Pixies are the best. They know roller derby is a way of life. Alright, thank you for your time, Mona. If I have any other question, may I come back to you? It'll be a pleasure to chat again. Well, I'm glad you introduced me to the fascinating Mona. She's very aggressive. I feel like we're missing something. You seem very invested in her. What if it's just her personality? Hey, I'm invested in every extravagant human behavior, but I need to find a way to push her. Something to break her aggressive mask. Well, it's time to see how good you are. Let's take a look around to find hidden pieces of Mona's personality. Well done, Detective Will. This pouch doesn't look like a sport gear Mona would use, more like something out of a medieval fair. I wonder what that weird powder is. I didn't pack the gears for drug users. It doesn't fit Mona's personality. Could you take a sample from the pouch for Jan, Will? He should be able to solve this mystery for us. I can't see any sign of Howard, Detective Will. I hope we'll find something to push him to open to you. Nice catch, Bo. You can tell a lot about someone from what they drink, and tea is particularly revealing. Please be my guest. Take a look at this box. All this tease making me crave a cut, but you're right, Will. This film roll you found deserves a closer look. Your film roll? Oh no, could Howard still be taking pictures of Derby women? Let's ask Hannah to inspect these. I hope you guys know that I'm recording this in my car on campus. So if you hear like some weird noises, like cars, then yeah, that's where I am. Alright, this is the Will. Jan will tell us what the powder inside the letter pouch is.
Detective Will, glad you brought me this film roll. I rarely got to analyze something so cute. I couldn't resist printing this one. Look. Howard must have taken those pictures some time ago because you can see Susie trading. She obviously isn't at ease on her wheels. Those pictures are so cute. I don't understand how he could take all those horrible photos after that. People aren't bi-dimensional. Howard's more than a creep or an overgrown baby. You're right, maybe I misjudged him. Well, let's give those pictures back to their owner. Well, you always manage to bring me the most interesting substances. This powder you found at the rink is great, but it has nothing to do with roller derby. It's not a drug at all, it's just some innocent fire dye. You can create pretty emerald flames if you mix this powder with some fuel. This trick is often used in shows involving fire. Like fire breathing? You're right, Detective Will. This powder must belong to Lenny. How did his dye end up on the skating rink? We should ask him, you're right. You found my film roll, Detective Will. Thank you. I really didn't know where I had put it. These photos are great memories of Susie. Well, we were worried about you. How's it going, Howard? I take it you're done taking pictures of Hollister skaters, right? Yes, I know I behaved horribly to Susie with those pictures. I regret it now. I'm a bit lost, actually. It's frightening. Between my mother and Susie, I would never lived alone. I miss Susie. She'd have known what to do. I still can't believe my mother would kill anyone, especially my beloved wife. I'm never listening to her again. I don't even want to see her face. I need to sort things out myself. But thank you, Detective Will, for the pictures. Here, I have a lot of goodies to support the team. Do you want one? Lenny, Detective Will has found your fire dye on the skating rink. My green fire dye, right on time for my fire juggling number, Detective Will. I like to color my flames. The crowd bursts in applause every time. You see, I improved a little show in Susie's memory to show how bright my love for her burnt. Now I got a new gig coming, but shh, it's a surprise. Even you would never guess what it is. Now it's getting interesting. I'm sure Detective Will can easily uncover such information without even leaving the place. Good luck then, and if you get hungry, go to the vendor over at the plaza. He makes great burgers. Tell him I sent you. He'll give you one for free. Well, I'm not used to this, but I'd say you found something interesting. I'm good with puzzles, but I love to see how you proceed. Watching people work can tell a lot about their psyche. Do you mind? Impressive, Will. There's laying on this paper you pieced back. I knew you'd find out what his new gig was. This seems to be a sort of play. I dare say the characters seem familiar. And who is Lenny's counterpart? You're right, it's Mona. I recognize her haircut. The text on the flyer is blurred. Could you work your magic on this, please? So Lenny and Mona are in a play about Peter and Hook. That's adorable. You could say that, but I'm more interested in the place of the play, Ocean Shores Children's Hospital. Who knew Mona would be selfless enough to volunteer for such a play, you know, so you show they actually improve the overall health of young patients. I knew Mona was more than an aggressive skater. I really want to meet the woman who plays Peter Pan for sick children. Don't you, Will? Hello again, Mona. My questions aren't about roller derby this time, more about acting. See, Detective Will found his flyer at the plaza. How did you find this? So I play some stupid roles for sick children when I'm not on the rink. Now what? You don't get to judge me. We wouldn't dare. It's quite admirable. Unexpected, but I'm sure you'll make a great Peter Pan. It's very nice of Lenny and you. Yeah, but don't start weird rumors. I'm like a good actress, okay? It's different from roller derby. It's about distracting children from their pain, but on wheels or on stage, I'm awesome. By the way, I like to make donations to various causes, so here, you're doing a great job, Detective Will. The police department should benefit from this. Detective Will, I really love that you always take some time to help people. Howard seems to be ready to move on and be a better man. Yes, as long as he's moving on in the right direction, it's all good. I have to admit, you're really good at judging people, Will. But more than this, I'm quite excited about what you discovered, Will. Mona really is more than she lets on. She can be selfless and quite nice. I could write another thesis with everything we found out. Or every woman slip into some sort of skater persona as they slip into rollers. Talk about whatever that word is. Fascinating, really. And you, Amy, do you have another side, a wilder personality maybe? How about discussing it around a drink later today? Oh, get a room, you two. Thank you, but there's absolutely nothing wild about me. You'd be disappointed when he Detective Will. Sure, Amy. That's what they all say. That's what they all say. Anyways, that will be the end of case 4. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time for case 5. I love you all. Get out.